and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2023-24 season. My name is Dan, and it's time for the 100 Experts video. The video where we look at 100 FPL managers who are very good at the game and see what they're up to this week. Are they using any transfers? What chips are they using? And who are they captaining? Guys, there's been a lot of love on this series recently. Really appreciate it. Let's keep that momentum going with some likes on this video. 2,000 likes. Can we do it? And make sure you subscribe if you're new around here too. Let's start the video. So first of all, a massive thank you to all of our FPL experts, pundits and content creators that have been helping us out with this series. These are the 100 that helped us out today, this game week. And yeah, there's a lot of them that I do really appreciate all of them. So do make sure you show them some love if you see them in the comments of this video or anywhere else on the internet. Yeah, make sure you show them some love. But what have they been up to? That's what we're here to see. Alright, so out of the 100 expert managers, 55% of them are making one transfer, 23% are making two transfers, one of them is actually making three transfers, taking a hit to do that, 8% are using the wildcard, so not actually that many using the wildcard. I thought there might be a few more this week. We had around 11% last week using the wildcard, slightly lower this week, slightly less popular week to use a wildcard at 8%, but that is still a fairly decent chunk of our experts opting to use that chip for this game week. And we've got 13% of managers not making a transfer at all this week. Now, before we go any further, I do want to caveat this video by saying we do have a lot of good data, but a lot of our expert managers did say to me, Dan, look, these are the transfers I'm kind of thinking of making. It is going to depend on the fitness of a player called Saka. So depending on news about Saka, whether he trains between now and the end of the week, because he hasn't trained yet, this is a little bit of a concern. That is going to impact what the final decisions of our experts are. But we can still get some really good ideas and we can kind of see, okay, if Saka is injured, what will we do? If Saka is not injured, what will we do then as well? So we've got different options that's hopefully going to give us different options depending on the result of that particular injury, I guess. So let's crack on. So first of all, these are the most popular Game Week 7 transfers in the world. We have got Botman as by far the most popular transfer here at 379,000 transfers for him already. There are a couple of people, I guess, who are kind of close. Son and Trippier there are also pretty popular this week as well. After that, Calvin Mitoma, after his amazing haul last week, coming on in the second half of that Brighton game and absolutely dominating that game. He did really well, and as such, he's got a lot of interest in him. Morris with the double game week, but that is the only double game week player in the most popular transfers. So yeah, kind of interesting. Maybe would expect to see maybe one more double game week player in the top 12 transfers of the week, but not really. There's a couple of other players here as well that maybe you guys are interested in. But the question is, do our experts agree with these most popular transfers? And I can tell you, yes, they kind of do actually. Yeah, it's a pretty big match here. We've got a lot of these players: Botman, Son, Trippier, Morris, Gordon, Ward-Prowse, Bowen, and Cash. We've got all of them with a little bit of interest, at least a little bit of interest among our experts as well. Now, I should say, the order is very, very different when we look at who our experts are transferring in. But these players are very popular. You know, a lot of our experts are bringing these players in. You know, you think Botman, Son and Trippier are going to be popular around the world? Well, they are. Experts and casuals alike are all joining hands together and saying, these guys are pretty good, right? So yeah, a lot of agreement there. But there is just a couple of players where there is a disagreement between the experts and the wider FPL player base. And that involves Mitoma and Walker. So 0 transfers in for either of these players among our experts. And I can kind of understand why. First of all, Mitoma, he is definitely a player who has some difficult fixtures coming up. And maybe there's just some better options to go for. We have got some other kind of midfielders around the same price as Mitoma, who you're going to see very shortly our experts slightly prefer to him. So yes, it looks like he's a good pick because he got a very good score last week. But because of the next 3 fixtures, maybe he's not the player to bring in right now. But that's going to be kind of up to you guys. I'm just putting it out there. The experts don't really like Mitoma as a pick. We've got Walker here as well. No one bringing him in. He's getting more and more expensive, isn't he, Walker? And we have had some comments from Pep Guardiola actually saying, well, Walker has played a lot of minutes. He's played too many minutes, and he said, you know, he can't play 90 minutes every single game. Otherwise, he's going to get injured, and that's not what we want, basically. So Walker, we are aware now that although although he has been pretty nailed on so far this season, it does seem like Pep Guardiola's comments suggest that we might see a slight reduction of his game time. Whether that's just going to be in cup games or in the Premier League as well, I don't know for sure, but there's definitely going to be a little bit of rotation somewhere for Walker, and I guess we'll have to just wait and find out where that's going to be. But yeah, certainly with Man City, the fixtures in the upcoming, I don't know, maybe 10 game weeks, they're not as good as they have been before, and they're playing a lot of teams that could genuinely score goals against them. And I know Man City are a phenomenal defence, but Walker is not going to get clean sheets every week, and he's not going to get assists every week. He's typically a player who doesn't get too many attacking returns. So in that sense, maybe Game Week 6 was a little bit of an anomaly there, and we might see him get slightly less points over the next 10 fixtures. So not so popular among our experts. But let's go on to the next page. What are the players that our experts are selling? Well, the most popular transfers out includes young Mr. Chilwell. Yeah, Ben Chilwell, 26 transfers out. That's quite a significant number there, really. A lot of people looking to move him on. It's just been absolute chaos at Chelsea. Like, who are they going to play at fullback? Who knows anymore? It's a big mystery. I actually don't mind Chilwell as a keep personally. I don't think he's a priority sell personally, but I definitely do understand that he is definitely a player that can be sacrificed. And with so many great options emerging from the Newcastle defence, it's definitely a good way of improving your team. Chilwell to a Newcastle defender is going to improve your team, and we're going to shortly see that's exactly what a lot of our experts are doing this week. We have also got Saka here as a popular sell. Let's see how that actually turns out by the time we hit the deadline, because like I said, it does depend on his fitness situation. If he trains before Bournemouth, then maybe a few more people will be looking to keep him, because typically when Saka is even slightly available, Arteta will start him. Arteta will play him. So we're going to have to wait and see on Saka, but a lot of our experts are already toying with the idea of selling him. But I don't know if it will necessarily be as high as this if it turns out he's fit. And if it turns out he is unavailable, I can actually see the Saka sale numbers going up even higher than this. We could see 40 or 50 of our experts selling Saka, which is going to be a very significant number. After that, we have got Nicholas Jackson, 15 sales for him. No surprise there, he's suspended. So yeah, you've got to get rid of him pretty much. Gusto, same situation, another suspended player from Chelsea. It just seems basically like a lot of Chelsea players are going out the door, because we've got Sterling there as well alongside Rashford. And to complete the sales, we've got João Pedro, Martinelli and Mubama each on 3 transfers out each. Mubama, interestingly, looks like a player that a few of our managers are actually upgrading to a player you're going to see right now. So, Carlton Morris is the #1 most popular transfer in among our FPL experts. I was really surprised by this. I knew Morris would have a few transfers in. I expected to see maybe 10 to 15, but to see 21 is very, very significant indeed. A lot of people looking to bring him in ahead of his double game week. So that's definitely something that maybe we should be taking note of. Our experts are actually really liking Morris, and maybe, judging by this data, you guys should probably be bringing in Morris as well. I don't know how I feel about that one. Definitely an idea I've toyed with myself, but I didn't think it would be quite this popular. We've got Son here next. Obviously, a lot of our experts already had Son, but those lagging behind a little bit, maybe trying to catch up with the template a little bit by bringing in Son now. Trippier, for those of you guys who can afford him, he is going to be a super popular pick. And if you haven't got Botman yet and you can't afford Trippier, maybe Botman is going to be your guy instead. Kabore is an interesting one, so another double game week player here. 7 transfers in for him. Again, that's quite a decent amount of transfers in for Kabore. Obviously got the assist last game week, and yeah, he's looked a little bit creative, to be fair. So maybe he can get the assist, and who knows, maybe even a clean sheet over the double. And after that, we got the likes of Diaby. Like I said, Mitoma not so popular, but players like Diaby, Gordon, Ward-Prowse, these are more popular than a Mitoma in that slightly kind of a budget midfielder kind of area. So yeah, maybe Diaby is actually the player to go for, because Aston Villa have some phenomenal fixtures coming up, and we know Diaby is essentially playing as a second striker, which is really, really nice. Bowen is also in here. A few transfers in for Salah, but as always, there's never too many transfers in for Salah among non-wildcarders. It does seem like Salah is like a more popular pick among expert wildcards than non-wildcards. I think it's difficult to try and fit him in and redistribute your budget unless you do have the freedom of a wildcard. And a few transfers in for Matty Cash there as well. So with all of that data in mind, let's suggest some transfers that you guys can make at home. So, first of all, let's look at some defenders. First of all, Chilwell, the most popular transfer out. Who are the potential replacements? It's pretty obvious, right? Trippier or Botman. If you can afford to get to Trippier, do it. If you can't, Botman. There you go. There is a very, very simple solution if you are looking to sell Chilwell right there. So yeah, definitely the two players that are looking really, really popular to replace Chilwell with. If you haven't even got Chilwell, or you already dealt with him or something like that, but maybe you've got Gusto in your team, Gusto to Botman could work very well as well. If you've got a little bit of money in the bank to make that upgrade, then definitely Gusto to Botman is going to really improve your team. If not, I'm going to throw this one out there as well. Gusto to Kabore. Kabore also a very popular pick and cheaper than Botman, and even cheaper than Gusto as well. So it's going to be a much easier transfer to make if you haven't got any money in the bank, or maybe you want to free up just that little tiny bit of budget there. For the attackers, Nicholas Jackson to Morris is, you know, a really, really obvious transfer for you guys to make this week. If you're looking for a new forward and obviously you can't have Jackson anymore, Morris is going to be a good solution for that problem. But aside from that, we've got Saka to Son. Yes, if you have got Saka in your team and you're worried about his injury and it turns out he is injured for this game week, then moving him to Son is going to be a really, really sensible way to improve your team significantly. Son, really nice fixtures in the next 3. So going to be a nice option and a potential captain option for next game week as well. We've got Rashford to Son here as well. If it turns out Saka is going to be available, then maybe you want to go a slightly different route, and Saka to Son might be the way to do it as well. But both of these moves are going to require a little bit of money in the bank. So make sure you've got a little bit of budget if you're looking to do one of these moves. But we've spoken about Son as a potential captain for next game week when he plays against Luton. But what about game week 7? Who is going to be the most popular picks? Is it going to be Erling Haaland again? Are we going to see Morris with any kind of captaincy picks there? Could Son get the odd captain? I don't know. Well, I do, and I'm going to show you. Well, here's a surprise. Yeah, Erling Haaland once again dominating the expert captain pick selection at 90% this week, though, which is a little bit lower than usual, to be fair. Usually we see a Haaland at 95% or more. A 90% Erling Haaland captaincy is starting to feel like a bit of a differential. And if you're going for Haaland captain and he outperforms these other guys, then maybe, just maybe, you can gain yourself a little ground on those people who are looking to go a bit daring. But on the other hand, those who are daring may be able to beat the masses going for Haaland, because Morris is on 8%. Yes, 8 of our experts are captaining Morris this game week for his double game week. It's pretty crazy. I know the idea of captaining Morris compared to Erling Haaland, it sounds a bit mad, but double game weeks do these things for you. And you know with Morris, worst case scenario, you're going to get 4 points from him, really. And if you can pick up a goal during that time, or 2, maybe even an assist, then it's going to start to look like a bit of a haul, actually, really, isn't it? That's the benefit of a double game week. Not only do you get double the opportunities to get attacking returns, but you get double the points for just playing games, and you also get double the opportunity to get bonus points as well. So there is really high ceilings on these double game week players, but not enough with a player like Morris to make him any more popular than Erling Haaland. But 8%, it's still something. That's enough to suggest a trend and to suggest that maybe it's a differential captain. Maybe it's worth going for. One person on Salah against Tottenham, and we've also got one person on James Ward-Prowse against Sheffield United, which is a really bizarre one on the face of it. But hey, Ward-Prowse on set pieces against Sheffield United. If it worked for Trippier last week, maybe it can work for James Ward-Prowse this week. It's a really, really interesting punt, but I'm not sure I'm convinced by that one ahead of the likes of Erling Haaland, and maybe I even prefer Morris to that one. At least you guaranteed your 4 points. I say guaranteed. Yellow cards might change that, but still, Erling Haaland, super popular captain once again. But let me know, guys, is there anything in your body right now that is telling you, maybe I'm going to go for Morris. Maybe I'm going to go for that double game week captain. Maybe I'm going to go outside of Erling Haaland. Those of you guys daring to bet against Haaland this week, and there are going to be a few of you this week, let me know in the comments and tell me why. Why do you have that confidence to go against Erling Haaland? Because I want to get some of your confidence. I want to get some of your insight, and I want to see what is causing this bravery, because it's definitely an interesting point of discussion this week, I think. So there we have it, guys. That is the end of the experts video for Game Week 7. If you enjoyed this one, please do drop a like. 2,000 likes would be amazing. Appreciate all the love that you've been showing on this series. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already, and check out Fantasy Football Hub if you want to get the Win Your League or Your Money Back deal. Link in the description. You can only get this deal between now and the Game Week 7 deadline. This is your last opportunity, your last call to get that money back guarantee deal. But you just got to click on that link in the description. You can also get a free trial mobile right now as well. So yeah, lots of ways to benefit from fantasy football right now. So link in the description, go check it out. But aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to go check out that video, buy, sell, keep, avoid, please do feel free to go do that. But aside from that, thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you later, mates. Bye.